Okay, I'm doing the countdown. And I didn't start my camera. Yep.
Dope. Great start.
Nice. There will be a day when I won't forget to do something.
You did yesterday.
Oh, yeah. It's only on the long days. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Thank you for tuning into this late night live stream. Or if you're rewatching it, thank you for tuning in for that as well. Appreciate you so much. Today's going to be like any other live stream. We'll just cover what we did on the day, just kind of go over from what we covered in the morning, and then we will dive into our ICT study, which today is going to be trade journaling. Oh, that's a cool topic. It's a very useful topic, and we have a very useful tool for that. Trade journaling, yeah, just like recording setups, entries, exits, and outcomes, journaling recent discipline, and self-analysis. So we can journal today. I'll do a live little journaling. All right, like I've done in the past. So what did we say last night on stream? All right, we said it is up to these two levels, right? We said, okay, want to see if price will remain above or below the Sunday open and the previous weekly high, which you can see during the Asian session and the London session, it was bouncing between these two levels. Then this morning on stream, we said, okay, we can, considering we have both sessions that consolidated, New York can take out both sides. That was phenomenal, right? Right here is what we did. That. And then let me get rid of these indicators so that you can see a little bit more clearly. So that's what we did. Asian session, London opened up, or New York opened up, sold down, and then we saw a reversal. Initially, we took some longs over here on that 5 minute, just to, after we swept those liquidities and we pumped up, I took them off over here. I waited for it to sell down. Took some shorts as well. Then over here on the 1 minute, we didn't quite sweep. Oh, no, we did. Yeah, we closed that gap. Oh, what sell off was this? That was 8 a.m. Oh, no. What counts? So really, yeah, 9 a.m. So 9 a.m., right? We came down. We closed this gap. We tapped. We didn't quite tap into this fair value gap, but we closed this gap. So we were looking for a little bit of reversal, considering, okay, well, we still have highs up above, and we're looking for an S&D on the day. So what did we do? We came down here. We saw this order block form. We're waiting for price to close above this level. Closed above here. Very strong close. I took a little scalp over here from here to there. That was my exit. And then over here was another re-entry. This was on the 5 minute now. On the 5 minute, we re-entered over here. This came down right 946. This was our next candle that opened up 946, 947, 948. Came down, tapped that. And then after tapping that level, it was clear skies up above for those Asian and London highs. So that was our 5 minute, right? We can say that we were also looking at shorts over here as well because we closed this fair value gap. We could not displace above it. So let us journal that, right? Some useful tools you can use on TradingView is going to be this arrow tool. Arrow marker, if you don't have your tools favorited, you can find all of them under here. Under the text tools, under the drawing tools is where you'll find the arrows. I suggest you create a little toolbar for yourself of the useful tools that you have. So we can highlight these levels, right? I like to separate them and put them into a folder. So then after I make the folder, I title it Thursday Journal so that I can review everything at the end of the week. Right? And I do this for every day of the week. Journal. On here is where I just outline those setups. Right? And look at, this was our outline this morning. We said, okay, well, we can do S&D. It was much larger range, but the move that we expected came out as planned. So our first point, right, you can point the arrow be like over here. Well, this is the area that I'm interested in. Use the text tool. Okay. You can do type in a little bit and then expand this. Double click that. So you can see, just kind of annotate it, right? Annotate what you were seeing. So what do we see over here? Price displaced FEG and made it a IFEG, right? Can see how price was holding below it and could not get above. And we also had targets to the downside. I suggest you do this every fucking day. Even if you don't trade, go back to the chart. Helps you form that you are looking at the market in hindsight, right? But if you were looking at it visually at that moment and analyzing it, these were exactly the thoughts that were going through my head when I was looking at these charts in the morning. I was like, okay, well, this is not getting displaced and we still have targets to the downside. Okay, I'm going to look for a displacement down. So that's our first one. Over here, we can point another arrow, add another text box, get a drink of water. So throw on another text box, and this is, okay, HTF. This was another thought that was just thoughts that were going through my head. HTF has closed the opening gap on the week. Hourly began to form a wick to the downside. So typically if we see a wick, not all the time, but if you start to see a wick forming, you can, after taking an important level, you can drop down to a lower time frame to see what's going on. So right here on the hourly, we start to notice, okay, we're starting to form a wick right here, start to get pretty big, right? Like as we started to retrace right after we hit that level. Okay, well, what are we doing next? On the lower time frame, right, we start to form that order block, like we said on the 1 minute. So HTF closing hourly began to form a wick to the downside. 1 minute formed an OB. 5 minute retrace to OB and bounce from there. You can do it in whichever way you please. You can do just small little notes. So you can write a whole paragraph on there, right? So I'll show you just the two different ways, right? So right now we're just going to do small little notes. 1 minute OB formed, 5 minute retrace to OB and bounce from there. Asian session in London session highs up above for our DOL, which is draw on liquidity, for anyone wondering, and S&D day confirmation. Okay, cool, right? There's our other trade that's journaled. Right, put that all in the folder, and we're going to do this, and we're going to convert that to OB, and we're going to put that line into our Thursday. So then when Sunday or Saturday comes, right, whenever you are reviewing your trades, just you do that every weekend, especially if you do journal every day. Open it up, and then you kind of zoom in. Okay, well, now I know what's going on. And it's kind of builds that practice. It's almost like back testing, but you're going over setups that actually happened, and you're going over that thought process that you have already had. So, and then, okay, well, we have this level to the upside, right? So then we retraced a little bit on the new hour, because every candle needs an open low, high close. So we had an open low, high close. Could have taken your trades off right there. We had another liquidity right there. Okay. So liquidity sweep over here. Right. Liquidity sweep over here. That was also our macro hour. And that's when we said, okay, well, we can short from there. That's where I took another short, and we alerted this in Discord. We said, all right, reverse from here. And that's exactly what we did. So over here, I just went based off of candles. You could have looked on the 1 minute. I'm sure we had yeah, so this would have been your order block over here. Right, there's your order block. Price is holding over here. Could have tapped in right there and played that. But right here, I'll go off of what I was trading, right? So we can add another arrow. And given that we had such a huge pump, right, with zero or no retracement to our OTE or to our discount zone, right? That's why we put this huge range on. So this 0 to 1 to 0, we have our 618, 705. So okay, this is our targeted area. This is where we're looking, and look where we bounce. Look where we start to bounce. That's 705, 786. Right? So we can take this arrow again. We can add a text box. We can say macro. Yep. So this is our macro macro time. So we have time and price alignment. Time price alignment. Liquidity taken. And we also notated that level. Right? We said 2143 in our Discord, and we also said 216775. We said, okay, watch out. Look for a reaction at those levels. What do? Look at that. That's pretty much the top. We just waited for that liquidity to get swept. So, okay, liquidity taken. Key levels reached. We saw no displacement. No displacement above the levels, and we had OTE below. So that's another little trade, right? We're trying to find every single setup, and these are actual setups that we did end up taking today. If you are in our Discord, you could see that we took those. All right. So what is the next one? We could have also taken a short, right? You could have waited a little bit for a retrace. Shane took a long over here, which was totally fine, right? Everybody finds their setup within the price range, and I'll let him talk about the little long that he took over here. But then we retraced into this 5-minute order block plus OTE right there, and sold further back down into the actual OTE rate that we just had up. So that was our final trade over here. So right there, you can extend it to wherever you want that arrow to be. So here, price to OTE of the caps lock.
Yelling.
To OTE. Price retrace to OTE of the sell leg, right? This was our sell leg. Then we had the OTE because we didn't have any major retrace into it, and we haven't hit the discount over in this area. We did, but we didn't hit like any important levels. So then, okay, price retrace to OTE of sell leg plus order block rejection, and we had a continuation down to the OTE of the HTF range. There we go. Right, that is in that trend line, just like that. And you clear your chart up. At the end of the week, I just go over everything and then delete it and make sure, okay, study it, right? And then you delete it. So, I mean, that was like a 2-in-1 lesson, right? We went over the price section. We also went over journaling. We do have a tool on our website. If you guys have not checked out our website, I suggest you do that. www.papertraders.io. We have a phenomenal tool called TraderLog. Over there, you're able to add your trades, so you can import your CSVs from your broker statements, right? Is that a working function now?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So we're still working on importing
manual trade entry.
Yeah, manual trade entry. It's really good for for futures. I would say that's the main one I use it for. It automatically calculates, so it knows depending on which contract you select, like ES, NQ, YM, RTY, CL. We have MES, MNQ, MYM, M2K, MCL. On there, you're able to select the position size, so it automatically knows how many contracts and what price to account for. Right? You can do long, short. You can select the type of the setup that you took, time frame that you took it on, outline your trade plan, outline the market conditions. You can do all of that for your trade entry, and then you can actually go in and put in a journal entry where you're typing out, okay, maybe talk a little bit about your emotions. Hey, I was feeling this way. You can outline the session bias, market analysis, and once again, outline your trade plan. And you can title those whatever you want them to title. I like to title them just the date that it was traded for. And we've been doing this for the past whatever amount of days we have been doing it for. So I've been staying consistent with it. And thank God for this tool. Because honestly, I used to journal, then I got out of habit of doing it because it was all in the Google, not a Google Doc. It was on a Word doc, and it was on my computer. And sometimes it would fucking crash, and I was just like, man, I'm so tired of just it crashing constantly on me, so I just gave up on journaling. So this has been a blessing, right? You go in there, don't shame yourself. That's the biggest thing you don't want to do when you are journaling or outlining, like, oh, fuck, I messed up on this trade. You should be learning for your mistakes, but look at it from a lesson perspective. So really look at it, okay, well, I'm glad I was able to, define my stops, and I was able to get, and I didn't move my stops, so my stops hit. So I'm pleased that I was able to place those stops appropriately and not lose out, on a lot of money. So kind of look at it from more of like a learning perspective and more of you know what, I'm glad today happened because I learned a lesson, not like today was so shit and I'm such a piece of shit and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in the market. Just kind of having that perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I 100% agree. Don't yell at yourself in your journal.
Mm-hmm.
But are you a real trader if you don't think that every once in a while?
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think as we grow and progress as traders, we really get out of that mindset because, I mean, I remember those days, right? We all learn from our failures. I remember those days I'd go to the fucking gym. I'm driving in my car. I'm fucking roll the windows up, turn the music up. I'm like, what the fuck are you fucking doing, you fucking dumbass? Just like,
for 2 hours.
no, I'm not, dude. I'm not even fucking shitting you. That was the mental fucking frustration. Yeah, like you will get frustrated with yourself if you're just starting out trading, but try to divert that as much as possible and avoid doing that because at the end of the day, it will cause you more.
It's emotion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're acting on your emotion in those moments. So really control it and be like, you know what? Even though today was a losing day for me, I'm glad it fucking happened because now I've learned and now I can take it as a lesson. I know Timmy has been trading for a while. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to add something on that. So this one thing that I've noticed is some people take time off. They're like, man, this is too hard. I need to figure something else out. Well, a lot of those people that take time off never study, never go back into their trades and try to figure out what they're doing wrong. They just, take a month off or a couple weeks and they come back. Like something's going to change. So if you're going to take time off, you have to work on your entries. You don't have to trade, but you can work on your entries and your knowledge to learn as you're, taking that time off.
Yep, that's facts. It's not like something magical is going to happen just because you took a couple of weeks off and came back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I mean, I'm assuming, but hey, sports teams, you know what they do after they fucking lose a game? They go back, they review the fucking plays. They're like, okay, what the fuck did we do wrong? Why did we lose? And they practice the shit that made them lose, right? They practice on perfecting those mistakes. And that's exactly what you should be doing, right? And it's a similar thing with trading, right? How many games, like if you take a sports team, right? Like a soccer team, for example, or football team as it should be fucking called. So you take a football team, right? Actual football, not your very opinionated in that topic. We won't get into that. But take your actual football team, right? Look at how many hours they spend in practice versus how many hours they spend in actual gameplay. Right? You're going to see a lot more hours spent in gameplay rather than a lot more hours spent in oh my god, fuck. You're going to see a lot more hours spent in practice than a lot more hours in gameplay, right? All of the practice that they do gets them ready for that moment so that whenever it is time to play, they are ready to execute. Similar thing with the market, right? That's why you want to spend those hours backtesting, going over the mistakes that you've made, learning from them, and really just like practicing those drills, right? Going in there every day, executing, right? Your gameplay happens every day, but what are you doing outside of that? Really, that's the thing that's going to determine, I feel like it is really going to determine your success. And I'm sure Shane can speak on that and Timmy can speak on that. Timmy has spent fucking hours back testing. Shane has spent years in the market, and all of those hours behind the screen that he's put in have made him the trader that he is today.
Yep. And I will touch on what Timmy said before. I've since 2010, I came back, I would trade with a strategy. It wouldn't work. I would quit, come back, try a new strategy. And like Timmy said, that was my problem. I never was learning from my mistakes or back testing or doing anything. I was like, oh, it's strategy. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. It's not the right time. Stressed out. Always an excuse. Never put in the work until 2-3 years ago is when that really started kicking in.
Yep.
Yeah, and any strategy will work. There's thousands of strategies, and they work. You just have to figure out what you see to make it work. Because what I see, Shane doesn't see. What I see, Eddie doesn't see. And what they see, I don't see.
Yep.
Yep. I even saw this thing on Twitter today. This dude was talking about how when you do go through all that, you eventually will come on a strategy that works. And then you're going to start overthinking it because you spent so much time trying to find it. And the whole time it was just so easy. And then you even can struggle with that. No, this is way too easy. It's not complicated enough. If you find something that works, you stick with it.
Yep. Yeah. If something say out of the year that you've been trading, right, something doesn't work for 1 month, that shouldn't be an indicator that you need to switch your strategy. Right? There's times that strategies work. There's times that strategies don't work. But don't go and be like, well, this strategy is shit, even though, it's like, say Timmy took a trade today and it worked out for him, and I took a trade on my strategy and it didn't work out for me. I'm like, well, my strategy is shit. I should switch over to Timmy's strategy. That shouldn't be an indicator for you. Some days your strategy hits, some days it doesn't. Just fucking find the days that it does, execute on those days. On the days that you don't see your setup, you are not executing. Right, and that's what.
Here's another big one.
Go ahead.
Here's another big issue that traders have. You get on Twitter or X, or you get into Discord and you're short, and it's something that you see, and then X Furu says, "Well, I'm long," and then you swap positions, and then you were right the whole time, and they were wrong, and you were right. You don't if anybody can say they're on the opposite side of you and it affects you, then you need to trade in silence until your confidence is high enough that somebody else's opinion doesn't matter.
Back.
Yeah, that's a fucking huge one.
Yep, because you'll switch to their strategy the one day that theirs doesn't work, and then you'll switch back to yours, and theirs works the next day, and it's the constant, never-ending chasing.
Yep. That's
a
huge fucking thing. Yeah, it's like today, this whole time, I was short right here when Shane was like, well, I'm going to go long. For me, I still had my point of interest, right? We retraced, and then we sold down. Shane made money. I made money. And we were playing completely different setups, completely different plays, right? So everybody has their own setup, and just let them do their thing, and you do your thing. It shouldn't interfere with your trading.
Yep.
Yeah, there's many times that I've been short and change. Like I'm going long, and like he doesn't know. Like like we didn't know we were. He didn't know I was short, but he's like I'm going
Yep.
long. Like you don't like. I could have said, well, I'm still short. This shouldn't matter because my TP was a little ways down. Then we hit it.
Mhm.
He knows
Yep.
his risk. He's sized for his risk, and then we pump.
Yep.
Yep. And
Like
like you
you don't
never know what,
know, yeah, what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
or the range or the time frame. Like you could be on a 1 minute chart, I could be on an hourly chart. Like it's two totally
Yeah.
different
Yep.
ranges we're looking at, two totally different things.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like my long today was a tiny little range of Eddie's short. Like it wouldn't even got close to where your stop loss would have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah,
Did we
that's
lose him?
sizing. Some people play big ranges, small
Hello?
size. Some people play small size, big ranges. It's just
Yeah. It's all about perspective, right? Just like anything in life, it's all about perspective. Everyone's gonna look at life in a different fucking way from you, and it's not up to you to change their perspective on it either. So if you
Nope.
see somebody taking a trade that's opposite of yours, you shouldn't be going in there being like, well, hey, I'm going long, so you should also go long. Don't try to do that either. That will mess you up in the long run, and it's just gonna uh, create relationships that you don't want to create.
Yes. That's a fact. Losing other people's money whenever you don't even have enough confidence in yourself is a big killer.
Mhm. Exactly. No, do you guys have any final little notes? I think that was a solid stream. Good. Spoke some fucking knowledge. Did the journaling.
yeah,
Spoke about
said my
everything.
piece.
Yeah.
It's 100 way to
Us?
skin a cat or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's just price action at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
Like
That's
Timmy
all
said,
it is.
there's so many different strategies, and I've played a lot of them, and I now see I see how all those strategies are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see how ICT is the same as Wyckoff and the strat. Like each thing just has its own terminology. Though I prefer ICT because it's more of like a universal way to speak about it. Like
Mhm.
we've talked about
Oh,
many, many times.
Yep.
I want to add this because I respect you guys. Uh, I'm not an ICT trader at all whatsoever. I have adopted a few concepts because I do like them, but in that I do not trade ICT.
Mhm.
And these guys do not shove ICT down your throat. They do not tell you that ICT is the only way you can trade and the only way you can make money. And that
Yep.
is one thing I love about these guys because I trade completely different than they do. And I have a completely different system and setup and all that stuff as they do. And it's never like, well, ICT this or ICT that. You need to learn this. You need to learn that. We just all kind of go together with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like, oh, what you see is this in ICT, and then you're like, oh yeah, it's like I said, I've traded so many different types of
Yeah.
strategies that's like initially 2 years ago when Raven first showed me the ICT, I was like, no way, like I'm not doing another one of these. But at the end of the day, it was just the language and like the understanding the context that I took away from it that was so important to me. But like still to this day, when I mark out like a point of interest, I will still use just a horizontal line. I could really care less the specifics, but that's just me personally.
Yeah.
It's just how I play it.
No, I completely get that. For me, for liquidity is liquidity. It doesn't matter where I'm like,
Yep.
well, I need to mark it out as fucking BSL or SSL.
Order block, breaker block, I don't care. Is it gonna react there on the lower time frame? That's
Yeah,
all I really care about.
exactly. That's I feel like that's what we all came down to. It's just being
Yeah.
like, well, it's all about right the interaction between buyers and sellers at that point of interest. Okay, what are we gonna do there? Are we going to
Yep.
displace above it, or are we going to fucking reject it if we come to it? And that's
You
what it comes down to.
call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yep.
Hey, I got a buddy that gets his levels off the 5-minute chart and trades on the one.
Yeah.
If it
You
works,
know
it
what I'm
works.
saying? Like he just zooms all the way out or zoom all the way in, so or all the way out so he could see. He just grabs levels. And
Yep.
if you go to ICT, you know you're looking for swing highs and swing lows. The same thing. He doesn't even know anything about ICT.
Yep.
Yep.
Different
The same
strokes
with
for
like
different folks.
my key level thing. Like at the end of the day, I'm just moving through time frames and marking out open, low, high, close, but it still reacts. It still works. I see it every day. You can't tell me I don't. So I mean, it doesn't
Mhm.
really matter to me how stupid or simple it is.
Yep.
Simple the
Exactly.
better.
Yeah. Less is more.
Repeatable, simple, back
Repeatable.
testable.
Yep.
Yep.
Maybe
And
let
if you
me.
can afford $19 a month, even if you have to quit one of the 20 discords you're in to get replay on TradingView, I'd highly advise that.
Yeah. I appreciate that shout. Yeah. If you guys have not checked it out yet, go to papertraders.io, www.papertraders.io. Check out the website. You'll be able to get 30% discount on your first month from their prices. You're locked in at the price that you paid for. You can check out Big Timmy Hedge on Twitter. You can follow his link and you will get a nice little discount. That one is for lifetime. So whatever you're paying right now, you'll stay locked in at that price. We're also doing a giveaway on at the Paper Traders Twitter account. We're doing 3 lifetime spots. So make sure you follow the directions to enter that and you'll get a chance to hang out with us and see what we actually do on the daily basis. Because this, we just outline general stuff. In our Discord, we really dive in depth. We give you like probably 100. Shane fucking gives you 100 tickers that he trades, and all the setups are outlined from daily to the hourly time frame. He really dives deep into his fucking analysis. Timmy's commenting the market candle by candle, and I'm just doing some little live streams here and there. I'm doing some setups too. And then outlining at the end of the day, like exactly what we did and doing a real deep dive on it. As far as, so yeah, make sure you follow at Hayes Beats. Make sure you follow Big Timmy Hedge on Twitter. Check out the Paper Traders on Twitter as well in order to get a chance to enter that giveaway, and check out our website. That's where you'll be able to find that tool. You'll be able to find Trader Log. You'll be able to find the risk calculator, candle creator. You'll be able to join our Discord from there. You'll also be able to check out all the links, our Twitter, our Telegram, our YouTube. On YouTube, we have pre-recorded videos, or all the recorded live streams are on there under the live section. So check that out, and you'll be able to go back and see how we've done for the past. How many fucking videos do we have on there, dude?
Dude, every day you have me clip something, so
Live. How many lives have we done in the
Receipts, eh?
past? Yeah, we've
Receipts.
done at least 30 videos are on there for you guys to watch, and they're ranging from like anywhere from 13 minutes, the ones that I do just like something short and sweet in the morning, just outline a quick market. Like today's morning live stream was only 8 minutes, but we gave you a whole setup for the day. All right, within 8 minutes, it's probably less time than you spend on fucking TikTok doom scrolling.
Yep.
So check that out. Check out the website. And another real great tool that we have is ICT Trainer. All of the tools are on our website, are free. We give praise to everyone that has contributed to things that we use, which is ICT Trainer. We have TT Trades on there. Very thankful that he's put out those videos. We have ICT's videos on there. All of those videos are just linked to YouTube, and that software or that tool just helps you track your progress, right? To help you on your journey and not discourage you from like, well, fuck, I've watched 20 videos now. How many more do I have to do? Well, that one helps you keep track of your progress. You're able to take notes. You're able to annotate charts and do little drawings on there as well to really make sure you remember those concepts. On that, for tomorrow, we have a gap over here in price, so we can come back, fill that. We got news out the ass. We got PCE tomorrow. And we also have our revised U of M. Honestly, I might not even trade tomorrow. Might just take the
Yeah.
fucking day off and fuck off.
Fridays aren't my jam.
Yep. Don't care what the price does. We've done what I wanted to do for the past 2 days. I'm very content with that. Tomorrow we can test this gap. We're kind of consolidating within this volume imbalance, or this actual gap in price, not volume imbalance. This gap in price, if we break this level down here, 19,893, we can see all of these wicks. I'd love to see a previous week low, giving us an outside week, but that's just what I would love to see. Doesn't mean price will do that. So with that, appreciate you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, give it a share. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your fucking dog. Tune into these. You can see we do them every day, and we love doing them. We love spreading the value. And tune into those morning live streams, because you will be able to learn a lot, and the night ones, as we do these deeper discussions. On that, thank you guys. Timmy, Shane, do you guys got anything else to add?
Thank you, good sir.
Yeah, just be patient. Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, it's you versus you at the end of the day.
Yep.
No one on Twitter is a god. None of us are gods. Like, it's just you versus you and the market. That's it.
Look yourself in the mirror and go to war with that person.
You will not be liquidity.
Yep.
You defeat yourself, you
Yeah.
will win.
Exactly. Well said.